Now, one of the things that I did find rather sad, and people might say, oh, don't be so soft, Neil, but I did really find this rather sad, and it just proves exactly how far that relationship has now fallen, cut off, dead, whatever you want to call it, was the fact that the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, literally found out about his father's readmission into hospital from the news. He's not included in that text, sort of circular. Nobody contacts Harry about anything. And this is 100% his own fault. Can you imagine if that text had gone and suddenly Meghan gets the phone? Because literally, let me tell you this, Harry's phone is twinned with Meghan. Whatever message he gets, she gets to see. Note that, right? That's important. I didn't even know you could twin phones, did you? No. Yes, you can, apparently. This is for security, because she's concerned in case he gets something he doesn't want to share with her, as ever, allegedly. Right. You know what that's about, don't we? Control, exactly. But you see, as Harry returned back here to the United Kingdom to once again try and fight for security status, which has proven to be an absolute farce and laughability when you think about it, well, consequently, here's where it gets really interesting, because Harry clearly fancied doing something. He'd escaped the Montecito mansion, probably got fed up now playing Minecraft or whatever these kids play as a 40-year-old in your back bedroom, because what else has he truly got to do? I mean, what does this man do all day? Centre Bar is a disaster. He couldn't be bothered with that. Everything else is just a court case, whether it's taking on newspapers to defend the honour of his wife, who clearly couldn't give a fig and has moved on, of course, publicising her own things like a podcast and a cookery show. But according to a source, Harry did a huge ring around. And it was a case of, sorry, wrong number. Let me explain. Morning, chums. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your time. We'll have a nice wave. It's always nice to have your company. And are you waving? I know, I'm waving. I'm not waving on this street on my own, I'm already getting strange looks. What do you mean it's the tie? I know, you know what I mean? When I'm filming here sometimes, people look at you and then a few days later, or you're walking up, say, somewhere else, and they say, I see you filming, And you think, it's not a secret. You know what I mean? I just love the way they sort of say, as if like, is this top secret? And you think, well, it's just top secret with the chums. Right, you see what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's nice to have your company. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Nice to see you. Yes, Harry, this is on a more darker side, dare I say, the reality of now what's happened, let me tell you, because as he's decided to come back, you know what it's like? You get back in somewhere and suddenly you click back into the world that you remember, think about, thought about, and figure that this might be still the world for you. You get the picture. And then, of course, you realise that, in fact, there is no world for you now, because consequently, looking at the bigger picture, people have moved on with their lives. You've dumped them, you wiped them out, you don't contact them. But when you want to turn up, and you're saying, well, look, I'm here, let's have a drink, let's meet for a coffee, come to the private members club, all that sort of stuff. Well, according to a source, Harry literally spent his time here very much alone. He's very close to, of course, his protection team. And when you think about it, I've seen this a lot with micro celebrities. They become very close indeed because they are the ones that they spend the most time with. And they confess to, and they talk about loneliness and what's happened in their lives, that sort of stuff. And one might say, well, Harry's had the opportunity to say, for instance, to go to a friend's wedding. Well, apparently, according to that source, he didn't want to distract and take attention away. And of course, he can't because of the security level of which he's fighting for. It's always coming back to Harry. He can't focus because if he goes to the wedding and there's a security scare, well, there you go. And of course, we now know, all thanks to the report I made yesterday, that the woman in question who stood up and said, I support you, Harry, they've driven you away. Well, she knows Harry quite well, right? So not exactly that much of a shock. Anything to distract and get some attention, you get how it is. And really what the friends have decided is, and this is from an excellent source who knows Harry, or knew Harry very well, the point is they've just decided he's not worth the trouble. That's the problem. They consider the fact that, well, why should they listen to him moaning on about his difficult life with all of these deals of millions of dollars and what he's left and how he's being treated? They feel that they've got their lives in order and they don't need the chaos and disorganization and fear about what they might say being repeated. So while Harry possibly sits in his hotel suite or that private members club, whichever he's decided to check into because he leaves it till the last minute for security reasons, well, no doubt he's either playing on his phone, Zooming his children, or indeed wondering, literally, where did it all go wrong? if you looked a little bit more deeper, what you see is a 40-year-old man who had it all and literally gave it away, some might say, for the woman that he loves. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.